Welcome to next lecture of compiler design. Here we will continue the error detection and recovery. I am Dr. Parul Yadav, Assistant Professor at Department of Computer Science and Engineering in Institute of Engineering and Technology, Lucknow. So, in today's class we will discuss error recovery strategies. We have already discussed two strategies in previous class. Here we will discuss remaining two strategy here. Then we will discuss error recovery in predictive parsing, error recovery in LR parsing, error recovery in YAC. Now, in error recovery strategies, we know there are 4 recovery strategies: panic mode, phrase level, error production and global correction. In previous class, we have already discussed panic mode and phrase level. Now, here we will discuss the error production and the global correction. So, in error production what we do, we have the grammar for language, and here we obtain the augmented grammar. So, here we try to anticipate common errors that might encounter in while writing the program. So, based on that common errors, we can write the grammar, and we can augment, we can obtain the revised version of the grammar that will be considered as augmented grammar. So, here we will augment the grammar for the language at hand with the production that generate the erroneous constructs. So, we will find the erroneous constructs in the program, and based on the common errors that can occur in the program, and we will write the grammar, we will write the grammar for those erroneous constructs, and we will add those constructs in the grammar. So, that will be considered as augmented grammar. We will see it how we use in today's class only. So, the parts are constructed from the grammar augmented. By these error productions, it detects the anticipated errors, where an error production is used during the parsing. So, wherever that particular production is used in the parsing, proper action can be taken. The parser can then generate the appropriate error diagnostic based on that particular construct about the erroneous construct that has been recognized in the input. So, idea is we will find the possible types of error, then we will write the erroneous constructs, we will write the grammar, those construct inside the grammar, and wherever such productions are used in the such productions are used, an appropriate error diagnostic action will be taken by the error recovery or error handler routine. Now, next is the global correction. So, ideally we would like a compiler to make as few changes as possible in processing an input or the input string. There are algorithms for choosing the minimum sequence of change to obtain globally least cost correction. Every time we will try to have the minimum corrections in the program and try to get the correct program after doing the minimum corrections into the original program. Given an incorrect input string x and the grammar g, these algorithms will find a parse tree for the related string y, and such that the number of insertion, deletion and modification or changes to the tokens required to transform x into y is as small as possible. So, they will use actually here the minimum distance correction scheme for doing the global corrections. Unfortunately, these methods are in general too costly to implement in terms of time as well as space. So, these techniques are currently only for theoretical interest. So, we do note that the closest correct program may not be what the program had in mind. So, nevertheless, the notion of the least cost correction provides the yardstick for evaluating error recovery techniques and has been used for finding optimal replacement string for phrase level recovery. So, this is actually quite difficult to know what is the intent of the programmer to write the program. So, but even if we may try to use some insertion, deletion or modification or change approach considering the minimum distance method to do the global correction in the program. So, now next we will discuss how do we do error recovery in predictive parsing. So, in predictive parsing, it detects an error when the terminal on the top of the stack does not match to the next input symbol. We know that here we will have the input tape and here we will have the stack, and if the symbol that is on the stack and the current input symbol, if they do not match, so it shows that we have the error in the program. Or second possibility is when the non-terminal A that is on the top of the stack and the input symbol A to which the input pointer is pointing, that is next to be scanned the input symbol, and if we are looking at the table corresponding to this non-terminal A and input symbol A, and this is the blank entry, mean there is no mean here we have the error, blank entries implies error. So, this is the possibility of errors. Now, we will see how to recover it. We will see both the methods. We will apply panic mode and the phrase level. So, in panic mode error recovery is based on the idea or is skipping over symbols or the input until the token in the selected set of synchronizing token appears. So, here we will discuss the synchronizing tokens. It follows a heuristic. Now, next its effectiveness depends on the choice of synchronizing sets. The sets should be chosen so that the parser recovers quickly from the error that are likely to occur in the program. So, just we will see the table how we do the changes in the original table. Actually what we do, this is the parsing table that we have, and here we have some blank entries. Now, these blank entries are actually the error, but at some stages we will try to find what the possible errors that a programmer may do, and here we will try to write some synchronizing function, and this is actually based on the heuristic. Now, we will see what is the heuristic for synchronization. So, there this is the possibility at the starting point place all symbols in follow of A into synchronizing set for non-terminal A. If we skip token until an element of follow of A is seen and pop A from the stack, it is likely that parsing can continue, but it is not enough to use follow of A as a synchronizing set of A. So, often there is a hierarchical construct on the on constructs in the language. For example, we may have the expression appear within the statement which appear within the block and so on. So, this is the hierarchical structure that we may have, and we can add the synchronizing set of lower level constructs that begin high level constructs. Now, for example, we might add keywords that begin with the statement to the synchronizing sets for the non-terminal generating the expressions. Other heuristics for synchronization, if we add symbol first of A to the synchronizing set for the non-terminal A, then it is possible to resume the parsing according to A if the symbol in first of A appears in the input. Now, if the non-terminal can generate the empty string, then the protection driving can be used as default. So, doing so may postpone some error detection, but cannot cause an error to be missed. Second, this approach reduces the number of non-terminals that have to be considered during error recovery. If a terminal on the top of the stack cannot be matched, a simple idea is to pop the terminal. You issue the message saying that the terminal was inserted and continue parsing. Now, this heuristic will be more clear in the table when we will apply it. So, here this is the parsing table for the predictive parser, and here we have the non-terminals, these all are the terminals as well as the dollar symbol. Now here we have the production that to be used, right. This is actually table M and this is with respect to capital A and small a. Now some of the entries are blank and some of the entries are having synchronizing entries that have been created based on the heuristic that we discussed. Now if we are at particular non-terminal and the input symbol, and on reaching to this, mean on getting non-terminal capital A and on reading input symbol A, if we are fetching a particular entry. So, what is the possibility that we suppose we are hitting a particular production that we know that the expansion may be done. Now, second possibility, if we are hitting a cell that is blank, if it is the blank. So, what we will do? We will the input that we are scanning, it will be skipped, mean this A will be skipped in that particular case. We can treat it as an extra input as we discussed over here. Mean that the non-terminal on the top of the stack cannot be matched. A simple idea is to pop the terminal and issue the message saying that the terminal was inserted. Now, if we are hitting, mean if we are fetching A comma A and if we are hitting the entry like this sync. So, what we will do, the non-terminal is popped in an attempt to resume parsing. In this case, we will pop the non-terminal from the stack and we will try to resume the parsing. Now, third case is if token that is on the top of the stack does not match to the input string, if it is not matching to the input string. In this case, we will pop the token from the stack, we will simply pop the token from the stack. So, actually this is related to this one, the third one statement. Alright. So, here this is the table. So, it could be the blank entry, it could be the synchronized entry, or third case is when the token on the top of the stack and the input symbol that we are reading, they does not match. So, if they are not matching, then we will pop the symbol from the stack. Now, we will see this example and we will apply this table, this parsing table. So, this is here we will do the parsing with error recovery moves. Now, we will added some error recovery moves into the table. Now, see, suppose we have the initial configuration of a stack like start symbol of the grammar E and dollar. So, here the grammar is like E2, here we have the grammar like E2, E plus E multiplication, E parenthesization of E, negation of E, the same grammar that we discussed earlier for top down parsing. So, so this is after removing actually the left factoring and left recursion as well as ambiguity. So, we have the final grammar. Now, what we will see, we will just focus on this table here. Now, here the stack configuration is E and dollar and the input string is like this, opening parenthesis ID multiplication plus ID and dollar. We know that this is not satisfying the grammar, but we will see how the error recovery moves will take place, here. Now, this is E and this is opening, this is closing parenthesis. Now, we will look at the table, this is E and this is closing parenthesis and this is the blank entry. What we do in case of blank entry? We skipped the input. So, what we will do here, we will put the remark that is error has occurred, and what to do here, we will simply skip the input. So, input is opening parenthesis. So, we will skip it and we will keep on scanning the remaining portion of the program or the statement. Again here we have capital E. Now, next input symbol is ID. So, we will see here E and ID. Now, here we have the production, that is E to TE prime. Now, simply we will pop E and we will push onto the stack TE prime. So, here we will pop E and we are pushing onto the stack TE prime as we do in parsing. Now, next here what we have, this is actually ID is in first of E. Now, next is T and ID, this T and ID. So, with respect to T and ID, what we have this production. So, we will pop T and we will push Ft prime onto the stack. So, we are popping T, pushing Ft prime onto the stack. Now, next is F and ID. Again, we will go to the table, that is F and ID. Here we have production F2ID. So, what we will do? F2ID, we will expand this F2ID, we will pop F, we will push ID. Now, here we have ID and here we have ID. So, again ID and ID, it means they are matching. So, we will this will be popped and here input pointer will be advanced to next cell. Now, here we have T prime and multiplication. So, this is T prime and multiplication and we have this production. So, we will pop T prime and we will push multiplication F and T prime. So, here we will pop T prime and we will push right hand side of the production in order. Next is multiplication and multiplication, simply we will pop this and here we will advance input pointer one cell to right. Next we have F and plus. So, we will go here, this is F and plus, this is the synchronization. So, here we have the non-terminal. So, it will be sync entry. So, it will be popped. So, here this is the error with respect to this and that is sync. So, here F will be popped. So, we will pop F. Now, remaining grammar symbol on stack will be this and this. Now, this is T prime and this is T. Again we will go to T prime and plus. So, this is T prime and plus, this is T prime to null. So, simply we will pop and we will get E prime and plus over here. Now, next is E prime and plus. Now, we will go to E prime and plus. So, this is E prime and plus. So, we will pop E prime and we will push T plus T E prime. So, we will have plus T E prime and this is plus. Now, we will keep this will be pop, this will be advanced. Now, T and ID, again we will go to here, that is T and ID. So, T will be popped, F T prime will be pushed, T will be popped, F T prime will be pushed. Now, F will be expanded to ID, now they will be removed. Here we have this, now we will refer T prime and dollar and E prime to dollar. So, just look at this, T prime to dollar mean null and E prime to dollar mean null. So, here simply E prime to dollar mean T prime to null and E prime to null and finally we will have this configuration. So, this shows the parsing with error recovery moves where we use the error recovery moves while doing the parsing only. Now, next is this is the phrase level recovery for the predictive parsing table. So, it is implemented by filling the blank entries into the table with portion of error routines. So, here we will write the routines. Now, these routines may change, insert or delete symbols on the input and issue appropriate error messages. They may also pop from the stack. Now, alteration of a stack symbol or pushing the new symbol onto the stack is questionable for several reasons. So, first reason is the step carried out by the parser might then be correspond to the derivation of any word in the language at all. Second, we must ensure that there is no possibility of an infinite loop as we discussed earlier. Checking that any recovery action eventually results in an input symbol being consumed for a stack being shortened if the end of the input has been reached is a good way to protect against such loop. So, here actually we will fill the symbol table with some error recovery routines where we may add, insert or delete something from the tape or we will pop something from the stack, will push the content onto the stack as well and will pop actually the contents from the stack and actually if you are pushing it is quite questionable and here we will follow the minimum distance scheme also. Now, next we will discuss error recovery in LR parsing. So, in LR parsing it detects an error when it consults the parsing action table and finds an error entry. So, as we discussed in LL parsing scheme, the LR parser will announce an error as soon as there is no valid continuation for the portion of the input thus far scanned. So, a canonical LR parser will not make even a single reduction before announcing an error. So, in canonical it will not do any reduction before announcing the error. However, if we are using SLR or LLR parser, then they may take several reduction before announcing an error, but they will never shift the erroneous input symbol onto the stack. So, here we will again do the modification into the symbol table. Now, we will discuss a panic mode recovery scheme for LR parsers. So, here again we will scan down the stack until the state S with a go to on the particular non-terminal A is found. Now, next 0 or more input symbols are then discarded until a symbol A is found that can legitimately follow A, capital A. The parser then stacks the state go to S comma A and resumes normal parsing. This might be more than one choice for the non-terminal capital A. This method of recovery attempts to eliminate the phrase containing the syntactic error. So, now again continuing to this, the parser determines that the string derivable from A contains the error. Now, part of that string has already been processed and the result of the processing is the sequence of states on the top of the stack. Now, remainder of the string is still in the input and the parser attempts to skip over the remainder of the string by looking for the symbols on the input that can legitimately follow capital A. Now, by removing states from the state and skipping over the input and pushing go to S comma A on the stack, the parser pretends that it has found the instance of A and resume normal parsing. Next is the phrase level recovery in case of LR parsing method. Here again we will fill each blank entry in the action field with the pointer to the error routine that will take the appropriate action selected by the compiler designer. Now, action may include insertion, deletion of the symbol from the stack or the input or both, or alteration or transposition of input symbol. So, based on the error, action may be taken, but we must make our choices so that LR parser not get into the infinite loop. Now, the safe strategy will ensure that at least one input symbol will be removed or shifted eventually, on that the stack will eventually shrink if the end of the input has been reached. So, here popping of the stack state that covers from the non-terminal should be avoided, because this modifications eliminate from the stack a construct that has already been successfully parsed. Now, we will discuss the example to apply the error routines on the LR parsing table. Now, we already know the LR parsing table. Here we have the states based on the item sets, and here we have all the terminals along with dollar for action field, and here we have go to. So, as discussed earlier, we will write the error routines. These routines will be written by the compiler, and here we have written 4 routines. 4 routines mean E1, E2, E3 and E4, and we selected 4 routines, and these 4 routines are written linked at various places in parsing table. However, no error handle routine will be written for go to field. Now, here we have the grammar, that is E2 E plus E, E2 E multiplication E, parenthesization of E and ID. We have only these 4 productions. So, reduction will take place using only these 4 productions, and this is the state 3 and next these are the errors that we have. Now, we will see what are the various error routines we have written and what is the strategy for writing it. So, this is first the routine E1, and this E1 we can say this is here, 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 here and in this row and in this row. So, this E1 is actually written for the states 0, 1, 4, 5. So, this is from the state 0, 2, 4 and 5, and for the symbols, for the input symbols, they are mean the valid input symbols for these states are ID and opening parenthesis. So, they are the valid. Now, if this is encountered, so when the E1 will be called when the input symbol is other than ID and the opening parenthesis. So, here we will push state 3. This state 3 is with respect to this one, mean go to of state 0, 2, 4, 5 on ID. So, if we will see 0, 2, 4 and 5 with respect to ID, this number is 3. So, we will push state 3 over here. And what is the issuing diagnostic over here? Here actually we are looking for ID or opening parenthesis. So, diagnostic will be the missing operand. Now, next we will write E2, and this E2 will be written, it is from the state 0, 1, 2, 4, we can see E2 is here, here and here and here, right. So, majorly it is here. So, when this is there, valid input is ID or this opening parenthesis. So, but we are getting the closing parenthesis. So, what we will do over here, we will remove the right parenthesis from the input, and here it will, the diagnostic will be unbalanced right parenthesis. We are getting the right parenthesis, so we will remove it simply. Now, 3 mean this is with respect to this one 1 and 6. So, from this state, and in these state valid inputs are, we can say this is the plus or multiplication, right. But in place of plus of multiplication, if we are getting some operator, then we will push state 4 corresponding to operator plus onto the stack, and here the diagnostic will be the missing operand. Here we were looking for the operand. Now, next is the error 4, this is with respect to from state 6, and here the acceptable, it could have plus, multiplication or the closing parenthesis, but instead of that, if we are getting suppose the error 4 mean the end of the string we are getting, then it will print the error that missing right parenthesis, and here we will push state 9 onto the stack. This is with respect to right parenthesis onto the stack. Now, we can do the parsing for the error recovery moves. This is the state, these are the symbols, and this is the input. So, we can say with respect to 0 and ID, we will look at the table 0 and ID, this is S3. So, here we will shift 3 and symbol is ID. Now, 3 and plus we will push 1 and symbol will be ID. Now, next is 1 and plus, we will refer the table, and accordingly we can write here plus and 4 and plus. Next is next we have this closing parenthesis. So, we can say 4 and closing parenthesis, just see over here 4 and closing parenthesis. So, here we have E2, and in E2 what we have, we remove the right parenthesis, and we error diagnostic is unbalanced right parenthesis. So, here we will print that unbalanced right parenthesis is there. So, we will remove it. Now, next here we have we will remove it. Now, we have plus and 4 and dollar with respect to 4 and dollar, 4 and dollar, this is E1, and here we have, we will push state 3. So, here we will push state 3, and then accordingly we will make the parsing. Now, we can handle the error recovery in YAC. Here we will add the protection like this, and whenever the parser encounters the error, it finds a topmost stack on the stack having the item of the form this. it shift the error, and if epsilon this alpha is the empty string, then it can reduce it immediately, otherwise it invokes the semantic action associated with the production. And here parser discards the input symbol until it finds a symbol with which the parsing can be produced. So, here we add the production like this A to error and alpha, where alpha is a string of grammar symbol. So, this is all for today. Thank you.